my last Ramadan. Could be my last chance of winning during this blessed time and special occasion. Never waste it. So let's plan. And when I say plan, you have to have a paper and a pen. And you have to write down and document, like you're going to a test. You're having a very important task. It is the most important task in life, which is to be saved. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Imran, فَمَنْ زُحْزِحَ عَنِ النَّارِ وَأُدْخِلَ الْجَنَّةَ فَقَدْ فَازَ وَمَا الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا إِلَّا مَتَاعُ الْغُرُورِ. When he will be removed slightly away from An-Nar and enter paradise, he indeed have succeeded. That is indeed a truly successful one. And this life is only the joy of illusion.
That's right.
It's a mirage. But the real success, the real joy is in the hereafter, when you have an asset of good deeds that outweigh and overcome the balance of the bad deeds. So number one, you have to write a very important task. How could you ever fast and not pray? Fasting will not be accepted if a person does not pray. You have to offer the prayer regularly and on time. And for my dear brothers, I say, you've got a wonderful opportunity. According to a hadith which is rated as Hasan, and collected by Imam al-Tirmidhi, the Prophet ﷺ says, one who observes the prayers in Jama'ah, the 5 daily prayers in Jama'ah, by attending from the very beginning, from Takbiratul Ihram, the very beginning takbir, for 40 days, Allah would give him 2 certificates. The first one is a release from hypocrisy, and the second is freedom from the fire of hell, if you can maintain this. So you've got 30 days, the month of Ramadan. Never miss a prayer in Jama'ah in the masjid. Talking about the prayers, we have to keep in mind that the Prophet ﷺ said in a sound hadith that one who maintains offering 12 rak'ahs during the day and the night, Allah will build a house for him in paradise. This is the opportunity to begin. 2 rak'ahs before Fajr, 4 before Dhuhr, 2 and 2, 2 rak'ahs after Maghrib, and 2 rak'ahs after Isha. Whenever you come to the masjid, you have to understand that even while sitting in the masjid, you are in a state of salah. And after the salah is over, while sitting and making dhikr, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends His angels. As long as you're sitting and maintaining your wudu after the salah, the angels would surround you to supplicate for you. What do they say? Allahumma ghfir lah, Allahumma arham. Oh Allah, forgive him his sins. Oh Allah, have mercy on him. Just imagine having angels come to supplicate for you and ask for mercy to descend upon you. Talking about the prayers, this is also the month of what? Salatul Taraweeh and Al-Qiyam. The Prophet ﷺ said in the sound hadith, which is collected by Imam al-Bukhari and Abi Hurairah radiyallahu ta'ala anhu ardah, من قام رمضان إيمانا واحتسابا غفر له ما تقدم من ذنبه. Privileges after privileges, virtues after virtues. I mean, what kind of sale is this? What kind of opportunity is that? That one who stands in prayer during the nights of Ramadan with sincere faith and hoping to attain the reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all his previous sins will be forgiven. Whatever you've committed before will be forgiven. Allahu Akbar. Allah is the greatest. So he says sallallahu alayhi wasallam that one who observes as-salah with the imam until the imam is dismissed, كُتِبَ لَهُ قِيَامُ لَيْلَةٍ, will be recorded for him as he had prayed a full night, an entire night. And that's why I highly recommend and advise my brothers and sisters who would happen to pray the Taraweeh, whether you agree with the local imam or not. He's praying 11, he's praying 21, pray with him all the way until he finishes at-Taraweeh. And do not make it a point of dispute. Empty your heart from any dispute, quarreling, or any enmity or hatred. This is a month of mercy. Just fill your heart with hope, with sincerity, with love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with purity. And this is what fasting does to one's heart. It's like a maintenance to the heart during this month. This is known as the month of the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Baqarah, شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان. The month of Ramadan is known also as the month of the Quran. The revelation of the Quran has started in one night during the month of Ramadan, which is the night of the power. Okay? And it went on to take place over the period of 23 years. But the revelation started in one night during Ramadan. This is one of the reasons this month is very honored and blessed, to have the everlasting miracle revealed during this month. So how to behave with the Quran in the month of the Quran? The Prophet ﷺ said that for each letter you recite in the Quran, that's a hasana, that's a good deed. And said al-hasana would not just be written as hasana, no, would be written 10 good deeds. Up to 700 times, up to what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wills. So, I do not claim that Alif Lam Mim is just one letter. No, saying Alif is a letter, reciting Lam is a letter, Mim is a letter. That's 30 hasanat times, don't count. Just recite. Just focus on reciting, because you would lose count. If you make a plan to finish the Quran at least once during Ramadan, is it affordable? As a matter of fact, if you follow me right now, you can finish the Quran 5 times easily. You make Khatm al-Quran during Ramadan with ease, and it won't be a burden on you. If you happen to attend Salatul Fajr in Jama'ah in the masjid, I'm telling you, a glad tiding after a glad tiding. So take this glad tiding. But do not forget to send the peace and salutation upon Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, because he's the one who brought us all those glad tidings and good news. Sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So the next good news is as how to finish the Quran in Ramadan. After you pray Fajr and you finish your Adhkar, if you sit for 35 minutes and you recite the Quran with a slow, nice tone and rhythm, you'll be able to finish one para, one juz. By that, or by then, sun would rise. 15 minutes you offer salah after sunrise, you offer 2 rak'ahs. The Prophet ﷺ said in this hadith, it's a sound hadith, that one who prays the Fajr, then he sits يقعد to remember Allah, to recite Quran until sunrise, then offers 2 rak'ahs, then expect what? He shall receive the reward of performing a complete Hajj and Umrah. And the Prophet ﷺ confirmed, he said, تَامَّةٌ تَامَّةٌ تَامَّةٌ, a complete package of the performance of Hajj and Umrah. How many times can you do this throughout your entire life? But make Ramadan the beginning and the turning point in your life. So if you sit after Fajr, you do not only recite one juz, you do not only say Adhkar of the morning, but you too gain the reward of offering complete Hajj and Umrah, and that's accessible and reachable on every single day. Then if you want to recite after each Salah, half para, one hizb, a few pages, you can easily make Khatm al-Quran twice or thrice. But you have to have a schedule and timetable, and you check, I did this today, I did not do that today, I have to make it up. Never miss a day, you have to follow up. It's like taking your medication, you have to take them on time, and if you missed anyone, you still have to make it up. In addition to, if you happen to offer Salatul Taraweeh in a masjid which recites beautifully the Imam and would finish the Quran throughout the Taraweeh in Ramadan, that's another time. Shahrul Quran. Seize this opportunity. Why? The Prophet ﷺ says that الصيام والقرآن يشفعان للعبد يوم القيامة. Imagine yourself on the Day of Judgment, have no assistant whatsoever, left alone, all by yourself. Not only that, your own son would run away from you. Your wife, your lovely wife, would not recognize you. Your parents, your brothers, your sisters. يوم يفر المرء من أخيه وأمه وأبيه. How horrible is that scene? But there is one thing would remain next to you. The Prophet ﷺ said, الصيام والقرآن. They both intercede for their companion. الصيام would say, argue on behalf of its companion on the Day of Judgment, Ya Rabbi, I prevented him from food and lawful desire during the days of Ramadan. So, oh Allah, accept my intercession concerning him. There would come the turn of the Quran. Ya Rabbi, I prevented him from sleeping at night. He was reciting me. So accept my intercession for him. The Prophet ﷺ did not finish the hadith until he said, قَالَ فَيُشَفَّعَانِ. So the intercession will be accepted and the request will be honored. So seize this opportunity to establish a very strong bond and friendship with Al-Quran. Recite with a beautiful voice. وَرَتِّلِ الْقُرْآنَ تَرْتِيلًا. Live the moment. Live the moment. Try to understand as much as you can. If you can memorize, you said for instance that during this Ramadan I would like to memorize Surah Yasin, Surah Tabarak, or one para. That will be excellent. Make a task that you have to memorize some parts of the Quran, because the Prophet ﷺ said that one who does not have any of the Quran in his heart, like a deserted house. كالبيت الخرب. Well, talking about Umrah and Hajj, amongst the beautiful acts that a person should really plan if they can afford to go for it financially and physically, the Prophet ﷺ says that عمرة في رمضان تقضي حج. Performing one Umrah during Ramadan is equivalent to performing Hajj. Moreover, in another narration he said that one Umrah in Ramadan is equivalent to performing Hajj with me, with the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So if it is not too late, go ahead and plan for Umrah. And if you cannot afford it financially, then do not forget, you pray Fajr and you say to recite your juz, then pray the 2 rak'ahs. Women at home, they can do the same thing, and inshallah they will maintain the same reward. Please, before beginning fasting, there is a very important task which many Muslim families are lacking behind, which is upholding the ties of our kinship.